Hey guys, welcome back to Motorcycle Maintenance Channel. Today on this episode we're going to show you how to change a crankcase cover off of a 2017 R3 motorcycle. This crankcase cover has been busted because, as we mentioned earlier, the bike was stolen. They dropped it. And anyways, they cracked the crankcase cover here and we're going to have to replace it. And in doing so, we're also going to have to show you how to replace the water pump, because we're going to reuse the old water pump and put it in the new crankcase cover that we bought for it. So hopefully we can make this as quick and painless as possible in this episode. So we're going to change this crankcase cover that's cracked, but the first thing we need to do is take the water pump off of it and put it on our new crankcase cover. So I'm going to start loosening these 8mm bolts right now to take that off. Alright, those 3 bolts are out. Now we're going to take off this little gear that turns the water pump. And we have to take off this little C-clamp at the top first. There's a special tool for that we don't have. So we're just going to use these things here to take it off. There it goes. All right. Okay. Okay, we'll pull this pin here. And remove the washer underneath it. Now we'll loosen up these 2 5mm Allen nuts. Remove this bracket and we'll stick our nuts in here. Show that's where that goes. All right. Neighbor's having some fun on his bike. Okay, pulled out the little pump. Let me get this little seal out of here. Alright guys, so we hammered this thing out of here in a vain attempt to try to reuse it. And in doing so, it got all marred and beat up. And in hindsight, it was probably best not to reuse this. So we got another one. And we're going to go ahead and start installing it into our new crankcase cover over here. So this was marred and beat up. So got rid of it. And now we're going to use a new one. So we'll just open this up, and this is Yamaha part number 33SE2223-00. And by looking at it, it came out that way. So we're going to put this back in here in our new spot. Take out these old parts here. Alright, before I put that in there, I'm just going to lube the outside of it with a little grease so it kind of slides in better. Or a little old motor oil, I should say, or new motor oil. Sorry. So, let's get some new motor oil, put it on the finger, slide that around there. Probably want to get some actually inside the little shaft pipe hole too. Alright. And put it there. Okay, got everything nice and greased up now. We'll try to just push it in with even pressure on all sides. And I have a feeling it's going to have to go in a little further than that. Just going to kind of hammer it. Well, I don't want to hammer it too much because I don't want to damage this thing. I'm going to get a C-clamp and we'll press it in with a C-clamp. Oh yeah, that works. That's a lot smoother operation there. Just kind of C-clamp it in there and just into place. And we'll take it out. There it is. She's in there. Now, we'll go ahead and put our fin back in. There's our water pump fin. These little blades, they move the water through the radiator and they get spinned by a gear that's on the inside that we took out earlier. So we'll show you that. Okay, that goes in like that. All right. Next is this piece. It has a little washer on it. I'm putting them on at the same time. Guess I don't have to do that. So you take the washer off. That goes here and it has a little collared piece that slides around it. And it lines up to the holes, kind of locking it in place. Then we'll take our washer, slide him on next. Actually, before we do that, well, we can leave him there. But we need to put in these two screws that go on either side. And they need to be put in with Loctite. So I'm going to put a little bit of blue Loctite on either one and then screw those in. Let's get this out of the way before we make an embarrassing mess here. Okay. And honestly, red Loctite would probably be a better thing to use because it's on the inside. But I'm just going to use blue Loctite. So I don't have any red Loctite. And for whatever reason, you have to take these out again. Hopefully you never have to take these out again, but should you? Blue Loctite's definitely the way to go. So just finger tighten that. I'll get the other one. Cover it in blue Loctite. Finger tighten that one. Alright, so there we go. It's finger tight. Now we want to use a torque wrench because we finger tight both those bolts in. Now we're going to use a torque wrench and tighten them down to 10 Newton meters. We're using a torque wrench because it is possible to over tighten this and crack them because this is aluminum. We got our torque wrench set to 10 Newton meters. We're just going to secure that in there. Come over to this side. Okay. She's in. So next step, we already put the washer on, because we kind of did it at the same time. It goes there. All right. Then there's this little dowel pin that just slides in right here, like that. And then this gear on the inside, which spins the water pump on the outside, spins the blades using the force of the engine there. We're going to put this, it covers it has a little slot here for the dowel pin that I just slid in, and it goes right into place like that. Okay, then we're going to put another washer right here on top, and then all of that gets secured with this clip. Then you have to get a new one of these clips when you take off the old one, and it's part number 99009-08400. It goes around here, and I got a new tool to use with this thing. This is a snap ring tool. I had to borrow one of these for one of our last episodes, so I decided to go out and buy one. And it works. Awesome. Love using new tools. Alright, so now that's in there, and as you can see, it just spins the fins of the water pump using these little gears in here to do so. So now we got to put on the outer casing of our water pump. And when you drain your radiator fluid, this will be the drain bolt right here. And because that's a drain bolt, it comes with the new sealing washer, which we have here for it. And before we do that, we got to put in our gasket. So we get our gasket piece. That's gasket 1WD E2428-00. There we go. We got our cover on. We'll put our two bolts that do not require a sealing washer in first. And they'll go hand tight. Right. And now our bolt that does require a new sealing washer, we'll use that. And that sealing washer part is 9043006-014. Just about all of them have a drain bolt washer. My 1000cc Honda has a drain bolt washer. So we just take that, put on the new sealing washer, and it goes right there. Okay, they're all on there hand tight. Now we'll tighten it to 10 Newton meters. They're all going to be like that, 10 Newton meters. And again, it's very important to use a torque wrench on here, because I have snapped these bolts inside these crankcase covers a lot of times. They're real easy to do. They make them soft because they're going into an aluminum, so it has to be soft. Over here and do this side. There it is. As soon as you feel it break. There we go. I'm losing faith in my torque wrench. I really don't want to snap it off in there. You know what? I'm going to leave it right there. That's not going to leak, I promise. If it does, we'll come back and torque it just a little bit more. That's the radiator. I mean, you'll be pulling this in and out each time you change your radiator fluid. So it's real important not to snap that bolt. All right. There we go. Water pump installed. So now, our new crankcase cover doesn't come with a sight window to check your oil. So I have to remove the sight window out of the old crankcase cover and place it here. And just like we did before, the old seal, dab some oil on my finger and put it there so we can slide it in. So this will take some hammering, and then you just push it real hard and it'll come right out. It comes right out. and it still looks like it's in good shape, so we're going to reuse it. You can get another one. We're not going to do that though. And we'll just clean it off here from the oil. Alright, we'll put it in here. Push it all the way back. I think it would be recommended to get a new one, but we're going to reuse it. Should be fine. If we have to, we'll come back and redo it. All right, so that's on there. And our oil fill cap, we're going to take him off. We're going to reuse him. It has a gasket already on there, so take that off. Dry it off a little bit, get some of the old gunk on it. Put him on there. Okay. Now these bearings here also have to be replaced. We got new ones to use here because it's not coming out. So we're going to pack in our new ones, and I think this is like 4 part numbers that go right there. So we're going to take our next bearing, which is 9331521521570. Take him out. Just like before, some new oil, grease it up. It's going. And this little rubber seal goes around it. I don't know if I have enough room yet. I might have to do some more malleting. That's rubber seal 93102 15805. Okay, so that clip comes off. This washer comes off. There's the old bearing. Go ahead and use our new bearing we were talking about earlier. So this is going to have to go in. So the bearing goes in like so. And then this has to somehow go in there. So we got this bearing in here like that, and we got our spindle in, and we're just going to use it now to push the bearing into place, because it's got to go in there. It's going. I always get nervous when you have to use a mallet. Sometimes you just gotta hammer things, I guess. Let's see if that's enough. Looks like there's enough room. So we got the washer on the bottom part of the spindle, which kind of had that mess turned around before. And then this has to go around the bottom part of it. So hey, it fits. So it goes in there. And then if you can see that spindle there at the bottom is what pulls on this here. It has little notches here. And it'll pull on that to bring the gears through the clutch. So that'll, you know, shift the gears. All right, there it is. So now let's get this piece over there where that goes. Now I'm just going to reference my book real quick so we know exactly which one of these bolts. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bolts. 3 of them are different sizes, so we'll figure out where those go. All right, so we got our new gasket that we're going to put on here, and we're just going to hang it on the dowel pins that are set inside there. And our new cover that we switched over the water pump to, the oil fill thing, and the oil fill plug, and the sight to see where the fluid's at. And we put in our new bearings. So now we're just going to go through the process of sticking it on here. And we want these teeth lined up so it catches this spindle. All right, and it's on. This might take you a few tries because it's got to go in just right for here, and then you kind of bring it forward right here. Then you want, you know, the gears have to be lined up on both sides. It took me a few tries, but it's on there now. All right, so now we can pull our clutch lever down, or our clutch thing down, and bring those here. So these, well, before we do that one, you'll have 9 screws that look real similar like these and can go in pretty much any order. So we'll start with one like that. That's pretty similar. And get the proper socket to put it in there. Looks like an 8mm. It is an 8mm. And we'll go ahead and put those on hand tight for now just to hold it into place. So we'll put that one there. All right, now it's on there. Well, I guess we'll go around. So the 2 following this 8mm nut that went in there has a little fairing stay clip that goes on like that. So we'll put him in next. Oh, actually it looks like it holds this, not necessarily, it's a clip that holds the O2 sensor wire into place. So since we're doing that, we'll put this wire around like so. And place it in there. not be causing me this much stress. Okay. Get another one. Other fairing stay. Like I said, it's not a fairing stay, but it holds the O2 wire out and away like that. Keeps it from sinking back in there. And all of these are going to get tightened to 10 Newton meters. Okay, just continue down our little path here. So now these three at the top are slightly different. This longer one goes into our water pump. So it's a little bit longer, and that one goes right here into the water pump. Or coolant pump, if you will. So that one's a little different. It goes there. And then this one, these two are also different. They're 5mm Allen keys. They go right here, and the book requires those to have Loctite, so we're going to Loctite those up before we put them in. I guess we're doing Loctite on those since it holds the clutch cable into place, and we'll be pulling back and forth on that. So probably just keep them from coming loose. And that'll go in here like that. And it has this little flexible thing here that will bend down to hold it from slipping out. And we'll get back to adjusting that later. But first we need to tighten up the rest of these bolts to 10 Newton meters. And we'll do this in a crisscross pattern. So we might want to fast forward through this part. I'm not tightening them all the way yet. Okay, that's all of them. All right, guys, so we got our cover back on the motorcycle, the crankcase cover. Now we're just going to connect the radiator hose to the water pump and tighten that up. We're going to fill her up with oil and radiator fluid, find out if she runs, and if she does, we'll continue to make repairs on it. So now we're going to add radiator fluid right here, where we took the cap off at, and put it in this funnel. All right. Well, we have our radiator fluid topped off for the most part. We put oil back in it. And now is Judgment Day. Now we're going to see if this thing even starts. It's a good sign. Oh my God, guys! We fixed the motorcycle! That's how we do it here at Motorcycle Maintenance Channel. We fix motorcycles. Oh man. Listen to that baby purr. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's doing good. Looks good. All right. We should really take out this oil though that we're starting it with. That smoke is just excess radiator fluid burning off. And then take out the filter and put in a new filter, new oil, and go from there. But I mean, the fact that she's running again is really something. It's amazing. It makes it all worth the work and effort. All right, guys.